Jake Morrison was 26 years old, and his life revolved around running from one pizza delivery to another. It was 7:47 p.m. Hot pizza boxes in his hands, heading toward the luxury neighborhood in the Northwest District. His Honda Civic's engine was making rattling sounds. The car had 147,000 miles on it. It was Jake's entire fortune. Just as tired as he was, Jake had dropped out of college in his second year. He was studying computer engineering. But when his father got sick, someone had to earn money. He found a pizza delivery job. He thought it would be temporary. A few months, maybe a year. But a few months had turned into 4 years. Now he was 26 and still delivering pizzas. $12 an hour plus tips. On a good day, he made $150. On a bad day, Okenta. Trying to make ends meet to pay rent. But tonight was different. Maybe it was the most important pizza delivery of his life. He just didn't know it yet. The GPS brought him to Lakewood Estates. This was the wealthy part of town. Each house was worth at least $2 million. Wide gardens, iron gates, security cameras. Every time Jake made a delivery here, a feeling washed over him. It wasn't envy, just the question of how. How had these people become so wealthy? Were they doctors? Or were they just born lucky? 3,847 Maple Drive. Jake parked the car in front of a modern house. Glass facade, minimalist design, 3 stories. He rang the doorbell. Laughter was coming from inside. There must be a gathering. The man who opened the door was in his 40s, casually dressed, smiling. Pizza. Perfect. You're right on time. As the man pulled out his wallet, a voice came from behind. Mike, like I told you, the secret to dropshipping is choosing the right supplier. Jake was handing over the pizzas, but his ear was on that conversation. Dropshipping. He had heard this word before, but he didn't know exactly what it meant. Mike handed Jake a $50 bill. Keep the change. $50 for a $14 pizza. Jake thanked him and was about to turn when he gathered his courage. Excuse me, did you just say dropshipping? Mike stopped, smiled. Yeah, why? Did it catch your interest? Jake shrugged. Just curious. I heard it online, but... Mike opened the door a bit wider. Come inside, I can spare you a few minutes. My friend Alex and I were discussing online business. Jake hesitated. But he went in. After all, what did he have to lose? When they entered the living room, there was elegant furniture, a huge TV, watches on the wall like Rolex advertisements. A laptop was open in the middle. The man named Alex was looking at the screen. This is our pizza delivery guy. He's interested in dropshipping, Mike said. Alex looked up, scanning Jake with an evaluating look. Good. Curious people win. Sit down. Jake sat on the couch. The voice inside him was saying, go, get back to work. But his feet wouldn't move. Alex started talking. Dropshipping is simple. You sell a product, but you don't keep the product with you. Jake frowned. What do you mean? The customer orders from you. You forward that order to a supplier in China. The supplier ships the product directly to the customer. You just pocket the difference. Jake started thinking. So what are the costs? Mike jumped in. I made $47,000 last month. My total expense was $8,000. Jake's heart raced. $47,000. In 1 month. He hadn't made that much in 4 years. How do you start? Alex laughed. Now that's the right question. Most people ask, will I get rich? You're asking, how do I start? Alex turned the laptop around. On the screen was a site called Shopify. This will be your store. It's free to set up. Then you find products from AliExpress, cheap, attractive, trending things. As Jake looked at the screen, calculations were spinning in his head. What about ads? How do people find you? Mike answered. Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads. You spend $20 a day. You test. When you find a product that works, you increase the budget. Jake swallowed. It sounded too simple, but it sounded too good to be true. Most people fail though, right? Alex nodded. Yes. Because they give up. The first two products don't work. They quit. But if you keep testing, sooner or later you find the winning product. Jake looked at his watch. 10 minutes had passed. His manager was probably calling, but Jake didn't care. The rest of his life could change in these 10 minutes. So I have no capital. How do I start? Mike laughed. I started with $200. Shopify's first month is free. I tested ads with $200. I made my first sale on day 4. The plan was starting to form in Jake's head. $200. It was the money he had set aside for rent. But maybe this was worth the chance. Alex handed him a business card. Look, I'll tell you something. This business isn't easy, but it's not impossible either. Are you ready to learn? Jake took the card. On it was Alex's name and a YouTube channel link. This is my channel. Everything about dropshipping from A to Z. Free. Follow it. Apply it. Jake put it in his pocket. Thank you. Really? Mike walked him to the door. Hope we see you around here, but not with pizza boxes. Jake laughed. But it was a genuine laugh. As he walked back to the car, he noticed his hands were shaking. From excitement? From fear? Maybe both. That night when he got home, he couldn't sleep. He opened his laptop, found Alex's YouTube channel. First video, how to start dropshipping. Step-by-step guide. Jake clicked and started watching. He watched until 3 a.m., then until Virt. The sun was rising and he was still in front of the screen. He had taken notes. He had made a plan. The next morning, he didn't go to the pizza place. He said he was sick, but the truth was, he was opening a Shopify account. He withdrew his $200 from his credit card. He had his last money in hand. Rent payment was in 10 days. What if this worked? What if it took off? He chose his first product. LED phone case. Cost from China, $3.50. Sale price. $1.9. Profit margin, $16. He prepared his first ad. Video of the phone case. A product that glowed in nightclubs, looked cool. He put a $20 ad budget on Facebook and published it. Then he waited. 1 hour passed. Nothing. 2 hours. Nothing. Jake started to panic. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe he should have paid his rent. But then his phone buzzed. Shopify notification. You have a new order. Jake's hands were shaking. He opened the app. Someone in California had bought the LED phone case. $19.99. His first sale. Jake wanted to scream. But he was in his tiny apartment. His neighbor would hear. Instead, he jumped up and down silently. His first online sale. He immediately forwarded the order to the supplier in China. Cost $3 for $50. Profit, $16 minus the ad cost. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the proof. This actually worked. Over the next 3 days, 5 more orders came in. Jake was spending $20 a day on ads, making about $80 a day in revenue. After costs, he was breaking even. But he was learning. He tested different ad images, different target audiences, different products. On day 7, something changed. He found a product that exploded. Magnetic car phone holder. Cost to $2. Sale price, due $4.99. He made 30 sales in 1 day. Then 50 the next day. Then 80. Jake couldn't believe what was happening. His phone was buzzing non-stop. New order, new order, new order. He quit the pizza job. His manager called him irresponsible. But Jake didn't care. He was making more in 1 day than he made in a week delivering pizzas. By the end of the first month, Jake had made $12,000 in revenue. After all costs, his profit was $4,200. More money than he had ever had in his life. But he didn't celebrate. He reinvested everything. More ads, more products, more testing. Month 2 was even better. He found 3 winning products. Revenue $47,000. Profit $18,000. Jake moved out of his tiny apartment. Got a 1-bedroom with actual space. Bought a new laptop. His Honda Civic was still running, but barely. Month 3, things got crazy. One of his products went viral on TikTok. People were sharing videos of his magnetic phone holder. Orders flooded in. 200 orders a day. Then 400. Then 600. Jake couldn't keep up. He hired his first employee, his friend Marcus from college. Marcus handled customer service. Jake focused on ads and finding new products. Revenue that month, $284,000. Profit, $97,000. Jake stared at his bank account. He couldn't believe it. 6 months ago, he was delivering pizzas. Now he was making 6 figures a month. But he knew it wouldn't last forever. Trends changed. Competition increased. He needed to scale smarter. He started building a brand. Not just random products from China. A real brand with a logo, a story, a mission. He called it Voltech. Premium tech accessories for modern life. He invested $50,000 into custom products. Better quality than AliExpress. Unique designs. Faster shipping from US warehouses. The gamble paid off. Customers loved the quality. Return rate dropped. Reviews were glowing. By month 9, Voltech was doing $1.2 million a month in revenue. Jake had a team of 8 people. A real office space. He finally bought a new car. Tesla Model S. Not too flashy, but comfortable. He posted a picture on Instagram. From pizza delivery to Tesla, in no months. The post went viral. 127,000 likes. Thousands of comments. People asking how he did it. Calling him lucky. Calling him a scammer. But Jake knew the truth. It wasn't luck. It was work. Every single day for 9 months. Testing, failing, learning, repeating. Most people quit after the first failure. Jake kept going. Year 1 ended with $8.7 million in total revenue. After all costs, salaries, and reinvestment, Jake took home $1.4 million. At 27 years old, he was a millionaire, but he didn't stop there. Year 2, he expanded into new markets. Europe, Australia, Canada. He launched 12 new products under the Voltech brand. Partnered with influencers. Ran massive ad campaigns. Revenue hit $34 million. Profit, $11 million. Jake invested in real estate. Bought 3 rental properties. Started a second e-commerce brand. This time in fitness equipment. Year 3, everything multiplied. Voltech was now a recognized brand. Sold in 47 countries. Featured in tech magazines. Jake was invited to speak at e-commerce conferences. People wanted to know his secret. He always said the same thing. There is no secret, just consistency and testing. Revenue that year, $89 million. Profit, $28 million. Jake was now worth over $40 million. He bought his dream house. Modern, glass walls, overlooking the city. The same city where he used to deliver pizzas. He hired a personal assistant, a financial advisor, an attorney. His life had completely transformed. But he never forgot where he came from. He still drove past his old pizza shop sometimes. Saw the delivery drivers hustling. He remembered that feeling, the desperation, the hope, the grind. One day he pulled over, walked into the shop. His old manager was still there. "Jake, is that you?" Jake smiled. Yeah, it's me. They talked for an hour. Jake learned that 3 of his old coworkers were still there. Still delivering pizzas. Still struggling. Before he left, Jake did something unexpected. He handed his old manager an envelope. Inside was $50,000 in cash. Give this to the drivers. Split it however you want. They deserve it. His manager's eyes filled with tears. Jake, you don't have to. I know, but I want to. Jake walked out, got in his Tesla, and drove home. That night he couldn't sleep. Not from stress, but from gratitude. He thought about that night 4 years ago. The pizza delivery to Mike's house. That 15-minute conversation with Alex. That business card with the YouTube channel. If he hadn't walked through that door, if he hadn't asked that question, if he hadn't taken that risk with $200, he would still be delivering pizzas. Still struggling. Still dreaming of something more. But he did walk through that door. He did take the risk. And his entire life changed. Jake wasn't special. He wasn't born rich. He didn't have a business degree. He didn't have connections. All he had was curiosity and consistency. He saw an opportunity, and he grabbed it. He failed dozens of times in those first months. Products that didn't sell, ads that didn't work, suppliers that shipped late, but he kept going. Because he knew that success wasn't about one lucky break. It was about hundreds of small decisions. Testing, learning, adjusting, repeating. Most people quit after the first failure. Jake failed 47 times before he found his first winning product. And that made all the difference. Today, Voltec is valued at over $120 million. Jake still runs the company, but he also mentors young entrepreneurs. He remembers what it's like to have nothing, to be one paycheck away from disaster, to wonder if you'll ever make it. And he wants to show people that it's possible, that you don't need to be special. You don't need to be lucky. You just need to start and keep going when everyone else quits. Jake's story isn't rare because of what he achieved. It's rare because most people never try. They see the risk. They see the potential failure. And they stay where they are. Safe, comfortable, stuck. But Jake saw something else. He saw possibility. And he ran toward it. From delivering pizzas at 26 to running a multi-million-dollar empire at 30, that's the power of one conversation. One decision. One leap of faith. The opportunity is still out there. People are building online empires right now. From their bedrooms. From coffee shops. From anywhere. The only question is, will you be one of them? Or will you keep delivering pizzas? The choice is yours.